Hi everybody, today is March 23rd, it's Sunday. The Senate President's Bill, LD 1750, that most of us were concerned about, was voted out of committee finally Friday. We expect it will emerge from the committee sometime in about a week. We don't yet know what the exact language will be, but the Senate President did amend it back from the more severe positions that he took with the original bill. Bottom line is the DEP is going to have to justify the decisions it makes when it deals with expert witnesses, etc. Doesn't sound like a huge deal, but we remain cautious. The retroactive provisions that had been written into the bill were supposed to come out. We'll see what happens. It's going to be a divided report. It'll be debated on the House floor and the Senate floor. Could be contentious, and we expect that it will be. Bottom line is, we don't know if even if they do pass it, if it will be vetoed by a governor and we'll have enough votes to override the governor's veto. The last piece of legislation that we've been watching was the governor's bill to change the wind goals that are in statute now. You've got 2,000 megawatt goal for the end of this year, which isn't going to be met, we know. You've got the 2,700 megawatt goal for 10 years later and 3,000 megawatts. The resistance that has happened in Maine was not foreseen by the framers of that law in 2007 and 2008. So we've argued that the wind goals are not only foolish to put into statute, they're just not pragmatic and they're not going to happen. So the governor sought to add or replace those numerical goals with goals that say that wind power will have to benefit ratepayers and benefit the economy of Maine. The committee's kind of thrown together an amalgam of both approaches. I don't think it's a really significant change, but we'll see what happens with it. Keep you posted on that. Last, we're watching to see if anybody submits legislation late in the session as it is. We don't think that it will happen, but we're on guard. Regarding the First Wind Emera court case that was adjudicated a few weeks ago, as you know, the law court said that Emera and First Wind cannot, at least under present conditions, move forward with their so-called merger, where First Wind, which was destitute, needed an infusion of cash. The projects that have moved forward through the process for First Wind since the consummation of the merger have been significant. Two big ones at Bingham and Oakfield are still pending. Oakfield, as you know, has its approval, it has its permit, but it's still in court. And the Bingham project is still subject to DEP review. It has not received a permit yet. We're not sure that it will. But both of those projects were included in the Massachusetts ratepayer power purchasing agreement, RFP, that was approved last month in Massachusetts. We have several questions. One is, how are those purchasing agreements going to be affected by the court ruling? How will the PUC proceed to either unwind or undo or fix what the law court told it that was wrong? And ultimately, what happens to First Wind if the money that it so badly needs dries up? All these are fairly good news for us in the short, medium, and possibly even the long term. We'll be watching it closely because, as you know, First Wind is perhaps the biggest wind menace that we face in Maine. The wind goals are largely being pursued by them. This case is also being watched by Iberdrola Renewables and by CMP because they would be in a similar situation wherein utility and generation assets are merged. If this goes the way we'd like it to, then Iberdrola Renewables might say bye-bye Maine and take some more pressure off the Maine mountains. That's it for today. We'll keep you posted. Keep your eye out on the blog and on the constant contact updates that we'll give you, as well as the Facebook page. Take care.